Starting with the name of Allah, who is the most beneficent and the most merciful. Dear students, welcome to the Quick Learn Academy by Arusairam. In this video, we will discuss the most important class ninth short and long question for your exam preparation. वीडियो को स्टार्ट करने से पहले अगर अभी तक आपने मेरा चैनल सब्सक्राइब नहीं किया देन डू सब्सक्राइब माय चैनल विच इज़ क्विक लर्न अकेडमी बाय अरूसा इरम। तो डियर स्टूडेंट, सबसे पहले हम मोस्ट इम्पॉर्टेंट शॉर्ट क्वेश्चंस की बात कर लेते हैं। एंड द फर्स्ट इज़ डिफाइन प्लाज्मा फिजिक्स एंड जियोफिजिक्स। सेकंड इज़ write the difference between the base and the drive quantities, give example. Third is write the difference between the base and the drive units, give examples. Next is define atomic physics and the nuclear physics. Next question is what do you know about the zero error, why it is necessary to use the zero error. Next question is define mechanics and electromagnetism. Write the difference between the mechanical and digital stopwatch. Define Vernier constant or least count of an instrument. Next is what are SI units? What role they have played in the progress of science. Next is define linear and the random motion. Next question is define translatory and rotatory motion. Give example. What is the difference between the speed and the velocity? And the next is define acceleration and uniform acceleration. स्टूडेंट्स, पेपर करते हुए जो आपका 2 मार्क्स का क्वेश्चन होता है और डेफिनेशन पूछी जाए तो आप लाजमन उसके एग्जाम्पल दें। अगर आप एग्जाम्पल देंगे तभी आपको 2 मार्क्स मिलेंगे। अब हम नेक्स्ट क्वेश्चन देख लेते हैं। डिफाइन रेस्ट एंड मोशन, डिफाइन यूनिफॉर्म स्पीड एंड यूनिफॉर्म वेलोसिटी, write the difference between the scalars and the vectors and give 2 examples. Write the difference between the distance and displacement. Write 2 methods to reduce the friction. Write 2 advantages of friction. Write 2 differences between the mass and the weight. Define momentum. Write its formula and unit state law of inertia. Define force. Write its SI unit. What is the difference between the torque and the couple? Write their units. And define resultant vector and the center of gravity. What is the difference between the stable and the unstable equilibrium? State head to tail rule. State conditions of equilibrium. Why the height of vehicles is kept as low as possible. And next question is define moment arm and axis of rotation. Define neutral equilibrium. Write the difference between the center of mass and the center of gravity. Define perpendicular components. What is meant by the resolution of force? Write its component. What is the moment? Write the principle of moments. Next question is differentiate between the like and unlike parallel forces. Define rigid body. State law of gravitation. What are satellites? What is the geostationary satellite? Why the value of g varies at different places and altitudes? What is the height and the speed of geostationary satellite with respect to the earth? Why the communication satellites are sent in geostationary orbit? What is meant by the gravitational field strength? Define the force of gravity. Why the fossil fuels are called the non-renewable sources of energy. Differentiate between the sound energy and the mechanical energy. Define SI unit of power. Define efficiency. Write the uses of wind energy and its uses. Define energy and write its sources. Define SI unit of work energy. Work or energy. Define power. Write its formula and unit. Define electrical energy, sound energy, and light energy. Write any 4 kinds of energy. Define work. Also write its unit. Explain mass energy equation. define kinetic energy and potential energy and write their formulas, define nuclear and chemical energy, write the difference between the stress and strain, define elasticity, state principle of flotation or why stone sinks in water but ship does not, how submarine can move on the surface and under the sea water, state Pascal's and the Archimedes principle, define density and pressure, write its formula. Define plasma, write its properties, explain kinetic molecular model, differentiate between the heat and the temperature, differentiate between the conduction and convection, what is the thermal expansion, write its consequences, write the factors affecting the rate of evaporation, define latent heat of evaporation and evaporation, what is the heat capacity, what is the specific heat capacity, write the scales of temperature, what is the thermometer, why mercury is preferred as thermometric material. Next is define internal energy, on what factor it depends, what is convection current, write its uses, or what is gliding, why what are land and sea breeze, what are radiations, on what factor radiations depend, define greenhouse effect, what is the thermal conductivity, what is the effect of length on thermal conductivity. डियर स्टूडेंट्स, अब हम लॉन्ग क्वेश्चंस की बात कर लेते हैं फिज़िक्स क्लास 9th के कंप्लीट लॉन्ग क्वेश्चंस, जिसका जो पेयर ए है उसके लिए आपने चैप्टर नंबर 1 प्रिपेयर कर लेना है, चैप्टर नंबर 2। पेयर ए में चैप्टर नंबर 1 से डिफाइन बेस एंड ड्राइव क्वांटिटीज एंड आल्सो मेक देयर टेबल, व्हाट इज़ द वर्नियर कैलिपर, discuss its working and label its diagram, what is screw gauge, discuss its pitch and also explain the zero error and zero constant, what is physical balance, how it is used to find mass of small stone, what are measuring cylinder, how they can be used, what are significant figures, write their rules. अब हम चैप्टर नंबर 2 के मोस्ट इम्पॉर्टेंट लॉन्ग क्वेश्चंस की बात कर लेते हैं। ज़्यादा चांस है कि चैप्टर नंबर 2 से इक्वेशन ऑफ मोशन, कोई भी एक इक्वेशन ऑफ मोशन आपको 90% चांस है कि आएगी। आपने उसमें लेबलिंग करनी है, एक्सप्लेनेशन एंड द डेरिवेशन ऑफ द फॉर्मूला। तो इसके देख लेते हैं हम लॉन्ग क्वेश्चन। डिफाइन मोशन एंड एक्सप्लेन इट्स टाइप, व्हाट आर vectors, how they can be expressed, explain the distance time graph, drive first equation of motion with the help of graph, drive second equation of motion with the help of graph, drive third equation of motion with the help of graph, explain motion of freely falling bodies। और पेयर ए के बी पार्ट के लिए आप चैप्टर नंबर 3 से इन टॉपिक्स को कर सकते हैं। हो सकता है कि इन ये जो आपके फर्स्ट 3 चैप्टर्स हैं बुक के, इनमें से एक लॉन्ग आएगा और एक लाजमन न्यूमेरिकल आएगा। तो 90% चांसेस हैं कि आपका जो फर्स्ट लॉन्ग है वो इक्वेशन ऑफ मोशन आए। तो आपने ये जो हाईलाइटेड येलोइश आपकी स्क्रीन के ऊपर नज़र आ रहे हैं, इनको लाजमन अच्छे तरीके से कर लेना है। इसके साथ साथ हम चैप्टर 3 के मोस्ट इंपॉर्टेंट लॉन्ग क्वेश्चंस को देख लेते हैं। द फर्स्ट इज स्टेट एंड एक्सप्लेन द न्यूटन्स फर्स्ट लॉ ऑफ मोशन or the law of inertia with the help of example, state and explain the Newton's second law of motion, how it is related with the rate of change of momentum. Third is find the tension and acceleration in string when two objects attached with the string moves vertically. Explain how the law of conservation of momentum with the help of example. What is friction and coefficient of friction? Explain lose loss and the gain of friction. Give ways to reduce friction, define centripetal force, discuss uses of centrifuge, find tension and acceleration in a string when object move horizontal. One object moves horizontal and one vertical. डियर स्टूडेंट्स, अब हम फिज़िक्स के लॉन्ग क्वेश्चन 2 के पेयर बी की बात कर लेते हैं, जिसमें से थ्योरी टाइप इन चैप्टर्स में से आ सकता है। चैप्टर नंबर 4, 5 एंड 6। 4 इज़ व्हाट इज़ रिजल्टेंट फोर्स, discuss head to tail rule, what is resolution of force, how a force can be determined with the help of perpendicular components, explain the center of mass and center of gravity with the help of example, discuss the relation between the stability and the position of center of mass, how center of gravity of irregular shape can be found, explain with the help of experiment, discuss the states and conditions of equilibrium with suitable example, what is the torque and couple, discuss the principle of moments. From chapter number 5, state law of gravitation, how it is according with the third law of motion, what is gravitational field, drive an equation of for mass of earth, how the value of g varies with altitude, what are artificial satellite, discuss their motion. From chapter number 6, important topics are define work, drive its formula, on what factor it depends, define kinetic energy, drive its formula, how fossil fuels and nuclear fuels can be used as a sources of energy, write their dangers, explain solar cells and the wind energy, what is thermal pollution, write its effect on the environment, discuss steps to reduce the thermal pollution. अब हम पेयर सी के लिए इम्पोर्टेंट टॉपिक्स को देख लेते हैं। फ्रॉम चैप्टर नंबर 7, डिस्कस द प्रॉपर्टीज ऑफ सॉलिड, गैसेस, लिक्विड एंड प्लाज्मा बाय काइनेटिक मॉलिक्यूलर मॉडल ऑफ मैटर, what is atmospheric pressure, how it can be measured, drive equation for pressure in liquid, state Pascal's law and explain the hydraulic press and the braking system of vehicle, state Archimedes principle, how it can be used to find the density of object. Archimedes principle is the most important. Discuss the principle of flotation, how it explains the motion of ships and submarines. State Hooke's law and sketch the graph between the force and extension. Explain the Young modulus by defining the stress and strain. From chapter number 8, important topics are what is thermometer, discuss scales of temperature, what is specific heat capacity, write importance of large specific heat of water, discuss the latent heat of fusion and evaporation, what is evaporation, discuss factors affecting the rate of evaporation, drive equation for the linear thermal expansion in solid. This topic is the most important. Discuss volumetric thermal expansion, write the application and the consequences of the thermal expansion, explain real and the apparent thermal expansion with the help of activity. From chapter number 9, important topics are explain conduction, what is thermal conductivity, drive its formula, write the uses of conductor and non-conductor, explain convection with the help of activity, what are convection currents, write the uses, explain greenhouse effect, what are the radiation, write the consequences and application. डियर स्टूडेंट्स, आपने लॉन्ग क्वेश्चंस के पार्ट बी के लिए एक्सरसाइज के सारे न्यूमेरिकल्स को अच्छे तरीके से कर लेना है और साथ साथ एग्जाम्पल्स को भी लाजमन देखना है. I hope you all like my video. If you like my video, then do subscribe my channel, which is Quick Learn Academy by Arusairam. And thank you so much for listening.